All right, here we go. We're going to break down this point. And who do we got here again, Caden?
So in this video, it is me, Caden Nemeth, and Krista Grechkiva versus Nico Montoya and Angie Walker. Score is 18-23. Stingers are serving.
Okay, here we go. We got Nico the lefty with a deep serve.
Big serve.
Okay, really good. Working their way up to that kitchen line. Just really good playing here. Okay, and then a foot fault. A foot fault to end the point. We're going to break this down. Even though there was a foot fault at the end, there's a lot of action, a lot of things to see. We're just going to watch this one more time through. There's a return, high third shot, little defense here. Good drop in the kitchen. Counters, resets going on. Just a lot, just madness on the court, madness.
And to end it all off, a foot fault.
Okay, now let's break it down. All right, here we go. Nico Montoya serving from the even side. Here we go. No need to stack. Their forehands are already in the middle.
Yep.
And
Nico is a signature singles player, so serve is always going to be big. As you can tell, I keep my weight back. I don't move through that ball. I wait for it.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, so Nico hits a high third shot. You can see, what was your partner's name again?
Krista.
Yeah, so, Krista leaning in, looking for that high volley here. So one thing that I didn't notice here is Angie, Nico's partner here. Watch her as Nico hits the ball. She's not looking at the ball.
Angie.
I don't know what's going on there.
Angie.
But again, we always recommend that you look at the ball here. Now, it's just her extreme skill here.
Extreme skill and trust in Nico.
Yeah, Nico pops it up, but she can see the ball here and it's high, and then she changes her mind and gets in a defensive position. I think she could have seen that a lot earlier if she was watching her partner there.
Yeah, and actually, so she does a good job of kind of getting there and realizing it's high and kind of taking a step back to give her some space.
Yeah.
But one thing to also notice is Krista and I usually stack, but in this case we didn't. So in mixed doubles, if something isn't working and you guys are stacking and you guys are getting beat by it, do not be afraid to not stack. I would say I think we lost the last 2 or 3 points just off of Nico's big serve and drive, and so we decided to just play it straight up.
Yeah, just try something different. Okay, so high third shot from Nico here. Again, I would definitely recommend her watching Nico hit the ball. But here we have a high ball. What she does really, really well is she recognizes that high ball, and she stops in her tracks there in a good kind of split step here. At least she's balanced. And again, this is a good attack here, and this is just a good dig. And this is just definitely defensive mode. You can see her getting attacked on and then just placing that paddle down. And then this one again, she knows it's lifted, and what does she do? She doesn't choose to come up. You can see her back pedal and then stop again.
Yep.
So really, really good defense. Okay, so Krista is doing a good job keeping everybody back. Don't invite your opponents up to the party.
For sure.
But here we go. Here's a little shorter one that Nico actually finds, and I think Krista was trying her best, but this one just fell a little short.
Yep.
And as soon as you see that short ball, you want to take advantage, and you can see Nico here doesn't choose to drive it. He knows better. He's going to drop this ball. So
get themselves in the point, get the pressure off their back.
Yep. And then what do we see here, Caden?
Ooh, so Krista gets that.
I just like that speed.
Right.
So
she gets
much.
that slightly high ball off of Nico, and she knows both of them are kind of moving forward. So she tells herself, you know what? This is the perfect time where I can possibly catch them off guard and attack them. Now, Angie and Nico are ballers. I mean, they're ready for it. Yep. So a good forehand attack more towards Angie is a good spot, but Angie does a great job of covering it.
Gosh, this is really good. One thing I do want to mention here, I want you to look at Angie and Nico's split step here. Let's see them. We're not looking at the ball right now. We're going to look at their split step. They come up
and
boom. So Really, really good. You can see that they are in sync with that, getting ready for the ball. And from this position, this is definitely a high ball that bounces high. And notice Krista, she steps back with that left foot to give her some space to hit her backhand and be offensive and aggressive. So I always like to say, if you're going to let the ball bounce into the kitchen, give yourself some room so you can maybe give yourself an opportunity to attack here. And from this position here, Caden, let's just pause it right here. Where are the possible targets here that your partner could actually speed up the ball?
Yeah, so she actually has a lot of different options, right? Now, because this is mixed, she's probably going to attack Angie here, but you could attack middle. She could actually roll a dink cross court if she wanted to. She could try, she could actually try and go a little bit more straight on if she wanted to hold it a little bit and more go down, Nico's sideline. But there are options, and I think the safest option was the option that she took, which was really, really good.
Yeah, really, really good. So from this position, you can see, I don't think going down Nico's line would have been smart. We don't want to flirt with that.
Right.
There's a potential attack either cross court or middle, but you're kind of limited here. Again, if she's going to attack on this side of the court, she can't hit it hard. She's going to have to dink it. So
I think she did an absolute perfect job of where she was going to attack. I think if I were her, I would have had a lot of different things going down in my mind. Now, of course, Nico is trying to be aggressive here, so I think, if I were Krista in this case, I would have kind of watched for Nico to kind of move a little bit more middle to see if I could go behind him. But I think she hit the absolute perfect speed up in this situation.
Yeah, really, really good. And Angie is definitely ready for this. Again, when you are cross court from the ball, in this case, Krista is hitting the shot, and whose cross court is Angie. She has to be responsible for that middle speed up. And again, we see this here. She just does a good job. Now, Nico could have grabbed this maybe, but it's coming in that little in an angle here.
Yeah, right.
And she just does a really good job of just being ready for that. And what I really like about this, like, look at her paddle. She doesn't take it too far back.
No.
It's a super compact swing, and it's actually a counter attack.
Yeah. Look, Krista actually hits a two-hand forehand.
Yeah.
She's like, whoa.
Yeah. And again, here's something to note here. High-level play, if the attack is going middle, 9 out of 10 times, the attack or counter coming back is going to come somewhere through the middle again. Because it's hard to redirect it. So when someone hits that, you, Caden, and your partner should be ready middle. And look where it comes back, to the middle. And then let's see where this one goes, to the middle again. So the reason for that is it's hard to change directions on certain balls, especially when you're taking a ball middle to cross court or cross court to middle. So this is why you two are in great position. You can see your partner attacking middle, and you two are clogging middle, because from this position, Angie here, she's not going to hit it on the sidelines here.
No.
It's way too risky.
If she's going to go anywhere other than the middle, it's going to be at the body.
At the body, your feet. And again, middle ball to middle ball. And then look, all four players
to another middle ball.
Yeah, all four players in this position are clogging middle because the ball is being hit rapidly here. Rapid fire here. Really, really good. And again, all balls through the middle. And finally, we have a little pop-up here that Angie definitely takes advantage of. And let's see this from the first speed up to the counter to another counter here. Okay. And
to another counter.
to another counter, fighting that off. And, again, as a two-handed player, Krista gets a little jam there. Right? I always tell this to players, but if you're playing a two-handed player with a lot of heat, a lot of power on that two-handed backhand, I want you to see where kind of jams are kind of in that body there. So with one-handers, this is not a great attack, but with two-handers, this is a good
spot.
one. Great spot. And it pops up here. And look at this. She's ready for this.
Ready for the kill.
Ready for the kill. And let's see Caden here. With a little diggy.
Okay. Now, actually, one thing I want to bring up on that dig is because I know she's swinging down, watch my hands shift down, and I actually add my second hand to the paddle to add a little bit of stability to my hands.
And that's something you've been working on, huh?
Oh, yeah.
But here we go, hands battle again. Another thing I want you to mention, Caden here, I mean, great dig. I would have gotten a little bit wider stance.
I think I do.
But
I get a little bit wider.
But the key thing is he drops his paddle low. You can see his paddle here, and he adds that second hand, his offhand, that left hand.
Right. Now I know I didn't get too low there because that ball wasn't quite high enough for it to go down at my feet. So I had to be careful if she did mishit it, where it would go at my chest, which is why I stood up just a little bit more, but I did drop my hands to be ready for that ball.
Yeah, so let's see here. Angie attacks this ball. You do a pretty good job just trying to reset it here. Now, this is a high one, and let's see Nico here, what he does with that.
Yep.
He tries to put it down
Krista.
here.
Krista actually puts some topspin on it, but she hits it up.
Yeah, and then let's see your position right after this ball. Now, this ball, I would like to see Krista reset this.
Yeah.
It's a lower ball here, and you guys are on the defense.
Yep.
And what does she do? She kind of
swings at it.
She kind of swings at it, and it's not the best ball to swing on. Again, if you can find, or if you notice that you're losing a hands battle, right now it's pretty neutral here.
Right.
But right after this ball, now we're on defensive mode.
Right.
So trying to reset, you do a good job of that. I would like to see Krista reset here. But regardless, she just gets the ball over. Now she and you knows the ball is really, really high. Let's see your response here.
Yep. I get wide.
So nice and wide.
Yeah.
Krista is in a pretty good stance, but you can see how you dig that ball up there. Okay, now the second ball is even higher, and what do you guys do?
Give ourselves even
more
room.
room. So when you're on the defense, it's very, very important to get low, try to dig out the balls, and be stable. You can see here, Caden, boom, you split step, paddle low. And what's really interesting here is the ball goes up and you go back, but you actually decide to come up a little bit.
Back forward to kind of scare him a little bit.
What are you looking for there, Caden?
Yeah, so I think in that case, right, like I'm thinking to myself, we're both back here right now. All they're thinking is, let's put this right at their feet. So the last thing they could possibly be thinking about is me kind of coming up and seeing if I could get something here to attack.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't even get that ball because of the foot fault that was called on Nico. But...
I don't know if I would have came up with that, but you might have been seeing that lob go a little bit higher. Maybe he was on his back foot.
He was on his back foot. I was trying to cut it off a little bit and get ourselves back kind of towards that kitchen line. Now, he did hit a pretty good ball, and you can tell I think I missed it just a little bit wide. But it was more of an intimidation factor, and then like, you know, I'm running towards. I mean, I wouldn't say it was the smartest thing I could possibly do, but I will say, like, I thought maybe I'd get a little bit higher of a ball kind of at my knees that I could kind of push and then get us back in the point. But at the end of the day, it didn't really matter too much.
So again,
of the foot fault.
Really, really good, Caden. Good stuff. Good playing here. Make sure when you're on the defense, you have that wide stance, dig it out, and keep going. So obviously this point here was ended by a foot fault. Let's actually get to the foot fault.
Let's talk about it. Yeah.
When we are getting the ball, and this is a typical thing, that left foot going back. Now Nico's a lefty, stepping in with that right foot. But for those of us right-handers, a lot of times we have that ball go over heads and we push off with our left foot. And again, that is definitely a foot fault.
Yep. And if you guys don't know this, a foot fault is called because he pushed off of the kitchen line, right? Yeah. So even though he's up in the air and it's basically like an Ernie. If you step through the kitchen to hit an Ernie, but you don't establish both your feet on the ground outside of the kitchen before you hit your Ernie, that would be considered a fault. So in this case, because he jumps up off the line and he's still hitting his ball in the air after he pushed off, that would be considered not established.
Yeah. So Again, really, really tough, but we all do that sometimes.
It's true. I've actually played with your dad, and he's gotten called for it. And this was when the rules were pretty new, so your dad argued it pretty hard, and then we ended up not gaining anything from it. But yes, I do remember this rule specifically because of your dad, and it actually helped me out in this case. So
okay, well, hopefully you enjoyed that breakdown and saw a lot of the different things. Again, we're gonna watch it in full time. All right, here we go. Mr. Montoya serving. Got that return we talked about. That recognition on those high balls. The attack middle. All the counters are middle. Just great D, and then the footfall to end. Ooh. All right. So again, hopefully this helps you. It's good to see things in slow-mo. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.